Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I've been a busy girl. I have finished stitching. Well, I haven't finished stitching, I think, these pieces, because I have a feeling as the prompts come through, I'll go back to them and do little bits and pieces. You could spend, I could spend another day just layering upon layering even more fabrics, more stitches. Like for example, this little piece I put down here, just a little square, and just put some pink thread through and then some cream thread through. Bring it up to the camera so you can see. I really explored the running stitch side of things with these pieces. I did a little bit of weaving a thread through a running stitch if you want to frame out some words, or let's say there was a medallion or something here that we had to, like a piece of jewelry. I thought, well, how would I frame it? So I had to play with that. I did a little bit more of the stitching here to denote that there could be a garden or flowers. That spotty fabric, I ended up putting French knots on all the spots. I did a little bit of highlight stitching on the pink again, and then once again just played with the running stitch, two different colors. I ended up bringing in this raspberry red 498 pearl cotton number 8 DMC as my highlight thread, and then the main thread that's stitched through all of them, and of course the little thingamajigger has come out. I believe I have another one here. I have so many of these. I go through rolls and rolls of them. The same with this cotton. I've just emptied another spool, which is what, 547 yards. I've got about 6 of these empty on my desk. If only I could do that much walking in a day just for exercise, but I can certainly stitch it. Oh, goodness me. They're my go-to threads. Now, what else did I do? I didn't bring any beads into it. I could have started encrusting all this through here, and I nearly did, but because I had the purple one also to do, I just sort of ran out of time. But like I said, I can come back through and pop some, beads through at any time throughout the project for the second half of the year. But my bases are pretty much done, and it's enough for me to see what sort of colour combination I'd like to use on her dress. So this is the purple one. This one was a little bit of a struggle. It helped when I removed, there was, see those 2 flowers? There was another one here. When I removed that and let this fabric come through, it really helped the piece, but still I find it very dowdy. I'm not a big fan of purple. I don't use it a lot, and if I did, it'd be more to the bright colours. These are really muted tones, so whether this lace is the right colour with it, and if you see Honeybear's dress just here, it's all very dull. So I'm gonna say I'm not a big fan of the purple. I did a little bit of stitching through this lace. Now this is the lace that I got in France, so I haven't yet explored embellishing the lace. So I end up just following the lines of it with some little stitches and some larger stab stitches. I really liked how that come up. I thought that was a nice decorative thing I could do to this lace, because I'm sure it'll end up on her dress. I then did a little bit more running stitch, but had a play with going across and then down. This is really pretty when you go across at an angle, but I've sort of ran out of spots that I could try that out. This stripe will definitely be on her dress, so having the extra stitches following the lines of stripe was really pretty. And once again, I could certainly go through and bead it and embellish it some more. The other thing I thought of that I'll probably add down the track is hexagons and Suffolk puffs or yo-yos, just to add more dimensions. I definitely want to do some more flowers. So they'll be good little pieces sort of to have floating around the whole time. And if I go away somewhere, I could take it with some threads and do some more work on it. So my thought is by the end of the project, these will be quite embellished, pieces. So yeah, really happy with those. So let me know which ones you like so far. Now the neutral is the fourth one. And I've decided that I wanted to have a bit more of a play. I'm just grabbing the pieces that I put away. And I'm not really going to do them in the same vein as this. Honeybear told me, where's Honeybear? Hello, Honeybear. I still haven't patched Honeybear's leg. For goodness sakes, let's just do that now. Let's get it done. Because poor old Honeybear, she's got a split. Now this fabric's really thin, but it's nearly got a bit of a plasticky feel about it. So I'm hoping it'll come back in and hold okay. Now the fourth panel, Honeybear's told me she wants flowers on her dress. So I said yes, no problems. The neutral was the plan. So I'm still going to do the neutral fabrics, but I'm going to create little spots where some flowers can be stitched and have a play with some different styles of flowers. And that way, when it comes to adding some flowers to her, we've got a little bit of a, I guess, a start in what looks good, what I like, what Honeybear likes. Oh, get this thread. The knot you can, gee, I nearly stabbed Honeybear with the needle to hold it. Gee, she's not a pin cushion, for goodness sakes. What a terrible thing to do to a bear. Okay, honey, hold still. Let's get this sorted for you. Pull that little thread tight that is there. I must say I thoroughly enjoyed stitching those little mood boards, and it really made me think about my colour combinations and potential stitches for my project. It was really good. So yeah, if you're tossing up between a few colour combinations and you're really not sure what you're going to do or which one, make some little mood boards. They could be half the size of those ones that I did there. You could just get some little itty bitty bits of your sample fabrics that you're thinking about. Even if you've got a Reader's Digest, which is my go-to small book, has a good hard cover, a reasonable spine on it, especially if you get some of them that are about an inch and a bit. You can get 3 signatures into them for a journal, and they are just a great size for little stitcheries. Okay, this is looking good. The fabric is quite strong. Actually, it hasn't started breaking down. You know, sometimes the fabric gets a little bit old and gets quite weak. It's actually really good. What is weak is the actual thread that they've used to bind her together is, yeah, not the best. I guess we'll have to make her at some point some new knickers, won't we? It shouldn't be too hard. We've got a nice little pattern there. At least we can use that as a bit of a guide. Thank you everyone for your kind comments too about the project. It seems that you are all pretty keen to see this unfold. So am I. It took a bit to get to where I am, I must say. I think making it interesting for you guys as well is a bit of a challenge. I can't just do something simple, otherwise you and I will both get bored. and I've got a lot of hours to fill. I do a video every day that's an hour, so we need multiple projects. So for those of you who are concerned that I'm chewing off more than I probably can handle, don't be concerned. I literally do need to do that many just to fill the hours of content that I need for my channel. And even then I'll be doing side projects in amongst it, because you know there's 7 days to fill with 4 projects, and if I'm lucky I might be able to do 2 videos per project and then I'm right. But usually it's not the case. It's usually something, you know, small is done. There's a weak spot there too, to a project, and that's 1 video. So technically it could be 4 days worth of filming, and then I've got plenty of days spare that I need to come up with something else. So I'll have got a few projects in mind for the rest of the year. I've got too many projects in mind for the rest of the year. I've got to buy a notebook or something and start writing things down. At the moment they're piles around the room, are little piles, which sort of works for me a bit too, because if I think of something I'll go straight to the cupboard and pull it out, or a pattern or a piece of fabric, and I just let it sit there and I look at it for a while. So a notebook is probably good when I'm sitting on the couch and I'm not really listening to a movie and my mind starts to think about a project. I can, you know, make some notes immediately, because they tend to disappear because the next project comes into my head and it's gone. So I need to, I'm going to get a notebook in the next day or so. I need to go to Officeworks and get some supplies for work. So I need a notebook. I should make a journal, shouldn't I? But I think I'll just get a notebook. Something that has blank pages in it as well as ruled pages, because then I can sketch as well. Maybe I need 2 notebooks. I don't know, goodness sakes. There we go, just reinforced that same seam. It was okay, but it was a little bit doughy. A little bit doughy through here. All right, Honeybear. Does everything else look okay on you? Should we just have a little look? Yeah, that's all right. Oh, look, that's been repaired. Wonder if I did that or my mum did that. See, she's getting a bit thin. Getting a bit thin, girl. Little arms are holding okay. It is thin through here. They've used the worst grey stuffing on her. She could do with a bit of a clean, actually. I don't know. I'll have to do some YouTubing. How do you wash a teddy? Well, best you don't. I don't know. She's got a little mark on her cheek where she's rubbed her mush on the ground or somewhere. Okay, enough mucking around with Honeybear. Feel like a kid again. All right, let's get these. So I've got my little dress here. I might just take the camera up a little bit. And we'll lay the fabrics on the little dress so you can get a bit of an idea of how it possibly could come together. It's interesting, isn't it? So let me know what colour you like. Okay, all right, now we were going to do something with the fabrics here and these pieces, weren't we? If I remember rightly. These were going to come up like that and like that. Yeah, I'd forgotten that. It's been 2 days since I've made these videos, so yeah, that looks good. I'm glad I didn't do too much more stitching there, because I had literally forgotten that that doily was going to come across. Okay, let's put them away. and our little dress. Now we've got our base, a little bit whoopy. That's better. And now we've got our fabric. Now we need neutrals. A lot of these. That one there is interesting, combining two colours. I don't know. I think I prefer to keep it to the one colour. I think it'll get messy if I did too many colours together. Not a lover of that one. No. Or that one. That one's good. That one's got potential to get a little bit of brown, that brown out, but it's sort of the background, so I probably don't need to waste the fabric. That's not bad. That's a good one. Gee, there's not many neutrals, is there? Nope. No. Okay. Right. I'm glad I decided to do a bit of embroidery. Well, I didn't decide. Honeybear decided she wanted embroidery, because there really isn't. Just going back through the pile to make sure I haven't missed one. What's that there? There's another one. Maybe I should leave those two to one side just in case. I don't think it'd be too much of a problem. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay. I think it's going to be blue, you know. Look how many blues I've got. I do like the red, but I'm a bit of a red fan. Now, how are we going to do this? I guess we've got our general ones at the top here. Let's have a look at some of the imagery on these. See if that inspires us. These are big prints. Yeah, see, these are too big for what I need. I even think that's too big for Honeybear. Like, that's a piece in itself. If I was to cut into it, you might be able to sneak out. Maybe the cherub could come out. That's a possibility. I have a cherub in the bottom corner. That'd be cute as a little mini feature. All right, let's just have a look at some of these others. This is real florally. This might be a bit of a good start. See, I like this flower. What if that was across the bottom? Any others that look good? Nope. That's one option. What's this one look like? It's pretty, but not catching me. I'm going to do flowers anyway. Do I need... I think I'm going to take this cherub out of here. I think. Can't decide. I like this, but I'm not sure if I like the band at the bottom. The band at the side doesn't leave much room, but I get all of the flowers in. I could fussy cut around that and take it out and then build flowers around it. That would be pretty. the cherub, he would be good in amongst it. But I don't know if I want to cut into that. Oh, I don't know. Don't know. I'm thinking along the lines of this, to be honest. Keep it very floral, because at the end of the day, this is a mood board for the dress. I'm probably not going to use cherubs on the dress. And if I did, I'd probably want them for the dress. So in that logic, put the cherubs away. This is my piece. And I think we're going to have a go at doing a bit of fussy cutting. Just do a rough cut to start with. Yeah, this is, I'm getting all sorts of ideas dropping into my brain. Before I get too carried away, I must tell you about Bad Boy Bandit. I'm waiting for the cue for them to start barking and goosing. They haven't yet. Yeah, I like that. I just need to get rid of some of the fabric now, because that's going to be the piece. Yes, now it's cold here today. It's one of the colder days in winter. So I'm filming this on Friday. I think you're watching this on Sunday. And overnight it appears that it snowed in Brisbane. Well, at least it snowed in Bandit and Pepper's sleeping quarters. Now their sleeping quarters, our house is like a big long rectangle. And there's the main patio area. And then my craft room that I'm in kicks out a little bit from the rectangle. So the patio is tucked into behind me, and in front of me where the TV is a second small patio. And that little nook also is our bedroom. So we decided to put a roof over that side when we built to provide some shelter for the dogs. So we've got our area where we would sit outside, and then they've got a smaller area off of our bedroom for shelter. Anyway, we've got a spa that sits there, and then using the spa and the columns from the patio, we've put in a couple panels of temporary fencing, you know, where you just bolt it together and you can remove it when you need to, or readjust it if you need to. So that's in there to stop them getting out through the night into the main backyard, but it fences off quite a large area between the house, the spa, and a couple of the posts, and then a little side fence. They've got a sheltered area plus a stoned, pebbled area for toilet and things like that. So, and they're right outside my bedroom window, which is really nice, except for when they're naughty. Anyway, there was a bit of a ruckus last night. About 3 a.m. I woke to Bandit woofing, and a real, you know, something's wrong woof. You can tell when they're really concerned about something. Anyway, I had a look, and they're both sort of looking to the rear of the block. So I don't know if a tree limb fell down off one of the gum trees, or who knows, and whether they heard a possum or possums fighting, who knows. But very unlikely it was human due to the farms that are behind us. Anyway, they settled back down, but obviously Bandit didn't, and he decided to help Mother Nature spread some snow around. So when I woke up in the morning, there was stuffing everywhere. So there's my fussy cut piece. I'll show you the stuffing. I took a photo because I thought you guys will enjoy seeing this. There we go. That's the area. So my bedroom's just in here, and there's this patio that comes out. This would be a wall here, and my TV's on the other side of my craft room. So you can see there's a little pedestrian fence there, and that separates the front property, the front of the property and the side from the back, so the dogs can't get around and annoy the postman, for example. So we've got like a shed here, and that's our work van parked there. So they've got this nice enclosure, and it's completely, you know, safe. And this temporary fencing just sits next to the spa, and then there's a little couple more panels over this other side to create this, you know, area. So as you can see, their beds, brand new 2 weeks ago, have slowly been decomposing. Bandit has chewed the side off of that one. Inside that side there is this really thick foam. Well, he's destroyed that side of the bed, and he's destroying that one. Oh boy. Now in there was a pillow. A week ago he started on it. You can see the inner still there because I got rid of the insert before it became a mess. But I left the inner bit there, so it's just that little bit extra snuggle. And he's bad at, he chews the hessian on the bed, all this hessian here, he gets in there and chews that. Well, he's obviously ousted Pepper out of hers. Well, they swap a bit. I don't think Pepper goes wherever he's not. He's pulled the pillow out, and then that's the insert that's inside the fabric piece, and that's the end result. So there's the fabric, the stuffing, and the actual cushion. So yes, it snowed. It never snows in Brisbane, but apparently last night it snowed. So back to what I was doing. I'm thinking of doing that actually. I like that. And then, unless I do it there, but no, it seems a shame. Maybe I'll do it there. I sort of felt like that. Yeah, see those little pieces going up felt good. Okay. Well, that was easy. So let's just pin that. Now I thought I might take inspiration from Jennifer's book. Let me just get it into. Now a few of you I know have purchased this to use in Down the Garden Path. So I'm thinking I might use some of these flower inspirations on my project as well, because I really like how she combines different things from wool and ribbon and embroidery floss, pearl cotton, to create really interesting pieces. Now, if I'm going to be doing a homage to the seamstress in our family, Grandma did a lot of embroidery. So I think there'll be an opportunity to do quite a bit of embroidery. And I mentioned before she did a lot of tapestries. So I'm actually on the hunt for a tapestry that I can work into the Seamstress Mannequin. All of the tapestries that I have of Grandma's are really big landscape scenes. What I'm looking for is something floral. I know Melanie from Purveyor of Textiles, she has the odd tapestry pop up and they're often half done, and that'd be perfect if I could find an antique half-done tapestry that was floral, I think I would grab it. And I'm thinking I could work that into the bodice somehow, which would be lovely to, you know, have a bit of a tribute. Okay, now I need to find a pen that I can draw with on fabric. Okay, oh, I'm getting a postal delivery today, and it's the dress for the mannequin. Remember, I found on Etsy the what am I trying to say? The 1950s style dress. That's coming today. I don't think I need these fabrics, to be honest. I think I'm going to go straight. I'm going to go straight to the. Maybe I do put a little feature here and there. If anything, it'd be that one. Oh, pens. Let's have a look at this little book again. If you don't own this, guys, I'd highly recommend you go and grab yourself a copy, because it just, I don't know, it just opens you up to using different, like that's netting. It opens you up to thinking about things in a different way. Look how dainty that looks up there. The daisies are gorgeous. We could do some daisies. Oh, I love how it comes out of the lace. Oh my goodness. Maybe I do a bit of a lace thing across the front. I really like that idea. Oh, there's just not enough time in the day to do what I want to do in the way of stitching. But I do like these daisies. I think I could manage them. Let's get ourselves some daisies happening. And I like how there's a random leaf coming through, and that could drift into that. I think Honeybear's a daisy girl, isn't she? All little bears like flowers. I've sort of done these style of flowers before, where you have the French knots in the center looking up to the sun, and then your petals come from behind. So that'll be a nice one. And then we'll do another one here where you're looking right up to the sun and your petals are coming out. I don't know if I've got any ribbons that suit this colour scheme. I'll have a little look, but there we go. Daisy leaves are quite jagged, aren't they? I like the fact that she's put some movement through here. I wonder if we could do that with our doilies. Do I have some French lace maybe that could be a bit chunky and textured? This one here is not a bad one. Sort of doesn't match the colours. Not really. I just put all the doilies away because I thought I won't need them. I might get them back out and place some things down there. Here's my bucket of lace. Maybe there is some kicking in here. Scraps, looking for scraps. It's getting that right colour tone too. It's not as simple as very white. Nope, don't think there's anything in there. I need to tidy that up. It's getting to the point where it's nearly, and some of these really old, delicate pieces I need out and in with my good laces. There's a couple. There we go. I was sure there was some bits in here. Okay. They're probably too big or the wrong colour. Yeah, they're too big. It's all good. Let's keep going. I might come up with another idea anyway. Just sent me off on a bit of a tangent there. Let's see what other inspirational flowers there are. I do like that. I'm not getting far into the book. It's just a sprig, and then you do lazy daisy stitch. Even than just a big flower. What about a sprig coming back into here with some ribbon, lazy daisy ribbons, lazy daisy stitch in ribbon to create a different style of flower. We'll do embroidery cotton in that one, ribbon in another one, and just keep building on different styles of lazy daisy in different combinations. This one here can be, she's done a lazy daisy V of them. She's so clever. Yeah, get this book, guys, if you haven't got it. Look at that, 3 different ways. Let me bring that up to the camera. 3 different heads of a flower, all lazy daisy in 3 different ways. See that there? So that's it there. The ribbon together, the ribbon spread apart a little bit, still lazy daisy, and then the cluster of embroidery cotton. Oh, I like that. That's interesting too. They're pretty. What did she do there? Beads within a flower. Now we're going to do that. I suppose we could have them as if they are floating in the air like that. What's it matter? So we got some stitches to create the little space, and then the 3 lazy daisy stitches and some beads go in there. I have a feeling I'm going to need to bring a bit of colour into this. Now, if there was a stitch that is from my childhood, Lazy Daisy would be it. I reckon that's the one stitch that we all learn. Kids can handle it. And this is a study. This is becoming a study of Lazy Daisy. There we go. I feel like they need to join in somehow. I don't know if I like them just floating in the air. So I'm just going to bring that down a little bit so it feels like it's connected. Put a couple little petals on the end there. Yeah, that's better. That was not working for me, having those few floating, so I've just added a stem. Okay. Do I want to do some of these daisies? They seem that's nice, that one there. They seem, these daisies is like I've done hundreds of them. They're not doing much for me. I want to keep it quite whimsical. So I'm going to try one of these. That one there. Gosh, I haven't even got off the front page, guys. It goes narrow to wide. It's a V. And then the Lazy Daisy stitches come out from there. I like that. A few thicker flowers is certainly helping. Okay, what else is here on this page? I think I could probably add in another one of those just here. Little pile of little French knots. That's it. So that guy's looking up. Then down we come. Yeah, I'm going to need to find something to come through here to ground our little garden of flowers. Okay. And if I can get some lace or something coming up through this zone, maybe would look good. There you go. All right. I think I might leave it at that. I sort of like how there's a bit of air here, a bit of air here. We've got a bit of movement going across the piece here. I might, well, we got into the first introduction. We didn't get any further than that image there and that there. And the book is just full of flowers, guys. Oh my goodness. Right, look at that one there. Just different ways of doing petals. Not petals, leaves. Look at that. That's so pretty. Anyway, that's good. Thanks, Jennifer. You've set me on a tangent. I definitely won't be using these pieces of fabric. What I might have a look for is something to go through here. So we've got 15 minutes left, haven't we? All right, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to go for a bit of a rummage and see what I can find that can come through here to create the effect that these plants are, you know, coming out of something. All right, guys, I'll see you in a moment. Okay, I'm back. Now, I don't know if I've got what I was really looking for because I got sidetracked. I found this. And I also found this one. I got these from Spotlight. How good is that for a match into these neutral tones? So I just thought I'd grab these and just have a look at those tones on there, that pewter. Gee, look at that on the blue. That certainly is gorgeous, isn't it? This is where I think these little mood boards, these mini mood boards, are going to be a really good way of seeing as I gather bits and pieces if, oh, how beautiful are you? Oh, look at that. Isn't it an unusual colour? I'm going to add that. Don't know where. Just love it. Oh, I've got all sorts of ideas here. I think I'm going to add it over here. Just a little piece. Gone off on a tangent, guys. I bet that phrase. I'll put a little bit of glue there while I think of it because they've got sticky tape at the other end, but that might be just the factory doing that. So keep it nice and just quite dense, so I think it would be okay. Let's get this sticky tape off. Might just trim that a little bit. It's a very glamorous feel to it, this. Let's get it up the right way and just drop it there. And then I can just put a few stitches in it to hold it. Very sidetracked here, guys. I'm wasting 15 minutes that we had left. But that's okay. That's what mood boards are all about. So I'm just going to pop a pin in there. There you go, Honeybear. There's potential of some glamour on your dress. A little bit of sparkle. Should turn that phone off before it rings. All right, let's back to where we were. I won't be using the green, but I couldn't help myself but to grab it out and have a little look. And then I saw this one. I've wanted to use that on the French garden, but it was just the wrong colour. Just didn't feel like it matched. Now, my instinct was to go for this and create a bit of a moody green base. But then I walked past the wedding dress embellishment section of my room and I was looking at this and I really like it. And then I was like, well, grab this and see if Honeybear can have some glam, and I think she can. I think she can. So, I know you're sitting there going, oh my goodness, that girl, she's going off on a completely different. I'm going to add this to the bottom of our piece. So, hang on for the ride. Because remember, our seamstress was a wedding dressmaker. And that's the overall theme. And Honeybear is sitting on the side, enjoying the benefits of having a grandma that was a wedding dressmaker. So if Honeybear is going to get a bit of sparkle on her dress, she needs to hope that Grandma cuts a little piece off for her dress. Now, this is where it gets challenging. How do I incorporate this? That'll work. That'll work. Oh gosh, it's like it's meant to be. That's going to fit, you know. I just got to snip in here. Gosh, that's so full on. I've got 2 or 3 of these from that order that I did for all these offcuts from the wedding industry. So I'm not too concerned about opening this all up. But where do I snip it? I think I'm going to come back through here. And I'm going to come back there. There goes a bead. I'm going to come back through here. All right. Now that is going to fall. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue there for now, just to hold that for a moment. Well, that little bead. Just underneath the bead, and that'll sit nicely. And then this side, I might just be able to slide how am I going to do this? Oh, I'm going to squish that up a little bit there, that piece, to make sure it fits. Just going to put a little dab of glue in under there, and then I'm going to get my needle and thread. We have lost one little bead, but where's my needle and thread? Excuse me. Oh, goodness me. There's so much smoke around from fireplaces. It just catches me. Pop a few little pins there. I'm glad I found this, or going to do this, because even the seamstress, the Mannequin, I'm not 100% sure on her colour scheme. You know, I've always thought white and neutrals and things like that would be very elegant. So this piece I'm doing here could nearly be a bit of a mood board for that. I don't think Honeybear is going to be neutral. The girl wants a pretty dress. So that to me is colour. And I think it will be blue, because I've got a lot of blue fabric there. I've got a lot of red fabric from France, but it's a different red. Now that I've made the mood board, the fabric that is in this fabric pack is more pink. You can see it. You can see it in the threads. These threads all worked with it, and that one. So it's not as red as I thought it was. So now just going back through those beads with just a few stitches, just to hold them because they have been severed from their mates. Yeah. So I guess this mood board is starting to be a little bit more about the seamstress and how we make a neutral linen lacy piece. And I'm thinking white is going to work beautifully, like white beads, silver. So I guess now I need to have a think about these flowers. My instinct was to go with the blues and the pinks and the purples to tie it back to honey. But I'm going to think more bridal. And I'm going to look for whites, silvers, this colour. I don't know what you would call this colour. It's not a brown, it's a silvery tone. So in the next video, we'll do some embroidery, I think. Now I'm going to just pull that piece down a little bit. Even if it looks like it's connected, we'll be fine because I want to expose the little berry nut thing on the actual linen fabric. So I'm just going to manipulate that motif. Yeah. This sort of, you know, when I think of Grandma too, her colours that she wore, she was a type of lady that would go mission brown first. If she had a skirt, to her, mission brown was a neutral tone. Now, to me, that's come from the 70s. And then she'd put with it bright, colourful tops that suited that mission brown tone, as bright as you could be, you know. They definitely weren't blues and pinks. But then in her later years, she started picking up some fabrics that were the pinks and the blues, like Honeybear's colour combination. But she always had this undertone, this neutral, gentle base colour. And then she'd put pops of colour with it, like that. It was quite, quite unusual pairing of colours, but it really did work. I never saw her in a navy skirt or a black skirt. I'm sure she had black skirts, but they were more of a dark grey or a darker brown or this sort of colour, and then brightly coloured tops. She's a bit of an enigma like that. And they're probably not the go-to combinations that you would do, but they did work, and it was classic her. So I've sort of got that in the back of my mind. When I pick up a piece of fabric, I think Grandma would never have worn that. But then I think, hang on a minute, she would have worn that on the top around her face, but at the bottom was this utilitarian style A-frame cut A skirt, you know, where that's got, we used to call them gauze, panels stitched together so it fluted out at the bottom. She was a large lady, but not really large. Oh, I don't know. She was a big girl. She was a big girl. Sorry, Grandma. But she'd be the first to say exactly what she was, because she'd be thinking about body types all the time and cutting and drafting patterns. So her skirts always had the narrow waist, and then she'd cut fabrics into a triangular shape, and that would get the fullness around her hips and bottom and that. So, and those skirts were always neutral. Always. It was never a pattern. It was always a brown or a grey, a black, occasionally black. And then her tops were full of colour. It's like she wanted to have a splat. Well, look at me. Like, I wear jeans a lot. I've got these neutral pants all the time, jeans. They're either 3/4 or they're, in winter, they go to my ankle, which is usually the 3/4 rolled down. But my tops, like, look at my tops. This is grandma to a T, just colour. But I'd have a neutral base. So, yeah, maybe the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So this mannequin, to be able to combine the utilitarian fabrics like linen, like just good quality fabrics, with the glamour of the bridal world is going to be a challenge to make it work. And I was like, a couple of times I was thinking, oh, what have I done? How am I going to pull the two genres together? Hard-working utilitarian clothing from a dairy farmer's wife to then step into the seamstress back bedroom where it was glamour and pearls and sequins and just... I think that's why Honeybear came along to the journey, because she wants a pretty dress, but she's still a bear, but she would like a pretty dress. But we're not quite a glamour model of a bride. Honeybear is probably me. I was a farm kid, but I did like to have a pretty dress. And if grandma could make me something, I never really had sequins and pearls on it, but if I did, I would have loved them. So it's like bringing the two worlds together, which is the challenge of this whole project, I think. I'm so pleased I did these little mini mood boards, because this has really helped me get clarity and put me in a direction of, yes, that will work, or no, I need to rethink that, probably won't work. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to waffle on for ages here. Thanks for joining me, guys. Thanks for playing. I will invisible stitch down these two elements, the flowers and the lace. That'll be my homework. Then I'll come back in the next video with a selection of threads, and we'll start working the colour scheme for this type of embroidery to suit what we've done so far. Okay. Oh, it's cold. My hands are cold. All right, everyone, look after yourselves, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.